How's it going, everybody? Rye here today, and we are back with your Kansas City Royals. And I wanted to say, guys, I am sorry for taking so long. I got the flu last week. So right after I told you guys I was going to be consistent with my uploading, I got sick and I just could not record, but we're back now, ready to get started for season number 3. I got through pretty much all of spring training, and now I'm going to set up the 26-man roster. There's a lot to think about right now, right? We got some contract extensions. There's a lot of talent. It's kind of all over the place, right? This screenshot right here, though, looks a lot better than it used to, like by a long way. So I'm very happy. We have plenty of guys that are really in their prime. Leclerc as the closer, can maybe someday move into the pen when Mariano Diaz is ready to move up and take the closer role. But for now, Mariano Diaz will be the reliever for us, and Leclerc will be the closer. But really, guys, we got to go through and decide what we're going to do with a lot of players, right? So we're going to take a look at the contract extensions. Brady Singer, we'll see what he's going to ask for, how he's going to pitch. He's gotten better, both years, 4.03, then a 3.31. I mean, he was really, really quite dominant last season. WAR of 2.4. He's not a big strikeout guy. We know that with his 56 Ks per 9, but I think, depending on what he's asking for for $11 million a year. Maybe he's somebody we look to move on from in the middle of the season, expiring contract. Somebody might be interested in that. Just a reminder, Bobby Herman is going to make his debut this year, which is exciting. But we got guys like Asa Lacy, Chris Bubich, Ben Caderna, Julio Villalobos. Like, we got pitchers who are going to be ready to step up for Brady Singer. And honestly, if Bobby Herman continues to have his meteoric rise like he has been, he should easily be able to fill Brady Singer's shoes. We can even get a stopgap just for a year. Daniel Lynch is going to be the long reliever. I guess he could slot in as a guy in the rotation, but I'd rather not do that. I think Brady Singer, depending on how he pitches, right? We'll see how he pitches for the first half of the season. If he starts to grow, develop, great, right? He becomes that Trevor Rogers 84-ish overall. I'd be very happy to keep him around for 2 more years or something like that. Just taking a look at the budget. You guys can see we are pretty well locked down for all of our top overall players. Multi-year contracts for pretty much everybody. Brady Singer obviously is the best player, and then Maikel Garcia as well, that don't have contracts. But look, we have our team locked down. Chris Paddock and Zach Gallen, they're our 2 aces. We no longer need to kind of string it along. We splashed a lot of cash, guys. That is, what is that? Like 40-some million in, maybe almost 50 million between these 3 guys we spent in free agency. So we still have an $18 million surplus, 40 million coming off 30 million coming off the books next year too. Things are looking good. Our budget should hopefully go up. We'll make a deep run in the postseason is my goal this season. And I think we're going to be a really good team. But Brady Singer is one we got to make a decision on. Maikel Garcia is another one we need to make a decision on. He's just, you know what I mean? He's a great fielder. Great fielder. Good arm, great accuracy, good reaction, solid speed on the base paths, and his hitting is fine. His hitting, it is not great, but he is 26, so he does have time. However, we are kind of overloaded at second baseman. I signed Luis Arraez. Brandon Drury's still here. He's got another 2 years left on his deal. Colt Keith, we just acquired him from the Tigers, I believe. Yeah, we acquired him from the Tigers. I'd love to get this guy playing. That bat in the mid-70s is phenomenal. His fielding is kind of a letdown. The 58 fielding, his 81 arm is great. So maybe over at third, he'll have the good arm. The fielding, I'd like to see it improve. He can play third, by the way, third and short as well as second. And then, if you guys remember, we acquired Brooks Lee a couple seasons ago. He's like the opposite of Colt Keith. Brooks Lee leaves a little bit to be desired with the bat. It's still fine, but the fielding is quite good, and he can play second, short, and third. My thought is we move on from Maikel Garcia. Brooks Lee needs to be playing. Colt Keith needs to be playing. They're in their mid-20s, and I know that Maikel Garcia is pretty good, but I think I just like Brandon Drury a little bit better. I know we're paying him more. I mean, they're like the same overall. I don't know who to get rid of here, because you can see Brandon Drury's got the much better bat. I think we got to get rid of 2 of them, right? Because I'm doing my math here. We need 6 infielders. So we got Vinny Pasquantino, Gorman, Arraez. There's 3. We got Bobby Witt. That's 4. And then Brooks Lee and Colt Keith. That's 5 and 6. Brandon Drury, I don't want to send him down. I feel like we could trade him for a prospect. And then Maikel Garcia, listen, he's grown nicely. I mean, really, really, really well. But with B potential, how much more is he going to grow? I like him a lot. He's a great fielder. But I did just sign Luis Arraez, who's amazing with the bat. That contact is insane. The 99 clutch, the 97 vision, right? He is exactly what we needed to add. And then obviously we got Nolan Gorman, who's 25 and in A potential. Colt Keith, we just acquired, is 24. And we've got him signed for $4.8 million over the next 4 years. Brooks Lee, we have him signed for $60,000 through next season, and he's a renewable contract after that. I mean, he's got A potential too at 25, switch hitter. So somebody that I like Maikel Garcia a lot. Just, he hasn't batted a ton. He hasn't batted well. It has improved. His WAR is all right. His runs created are terrible, but he's a better defender. I don't know. I'm waffling a lot about it. I think him and Brandon Drury are the two expendable players. Colt Keith now coming in, and Brooks Lee ready to come up now. I'd like to see him grow the bat a little bit more. Brooks Lee, he's 25. I think he does need to be playing. He's a solution for us there at third base, along with Colt Keith. So I think I'm going to make them both third basemen and then move on from Brandon Drury and Maikel Garcia. It'll help our depth at third too. It's pretty barren over here. I've been kind of shifting other guys to third through this whole time, but I think that's the plan for the infield. For the outfield, we've got O'Neill Verdugo, Edmund Isbell, and then Lyle Cortez. That would be our 5 outfielders. I think I'm absolutely fine with this. Nelson Velasquez does have power, but the clutch isn't there. The vision isn't there. And Lyle Cortez is a rookie. He's 21. I know he's got C potential, but he looks like he's going to have great contact, good vision, discipline, and clutch. And he's a solid enough fielder. A little bit better reaction, better arm. If he's going to be playing in right field, I want that. And he's a little bit faster too, so we can get to help us on the base paths and help us out in the outfield. Durability is a bit more of a concern, but you guys can see just flipping between the two of them. They have the same contact versus righties, actually, which is funny. But the power there for Velasquez, I just think the rest of Lyle Cortez's game as a batter is much more well-rounded. Now, Velasquez does have some quirks. Lyle Cortez doesn't, but I think I'm willing to give Lyle Cortez the shot. 2 more years at renewable, 3 more years after that at arbitration, versus Velasquez, who's heading into arbitration, and I can send him down. He's depth if we need to call somebody up. And then we try to acquire loads of potential. I'll set this up in a minute here, but MJ Melendez, again, another guy that at 27, is he ever going to get there? He's got a couple more years. He's making 1.5. He's got ARB after this season. I don't know if he's ever going to make it, but I'm not giving up hope on him yet. I'm not shipping him off just yet. I may want to, but I do think for the infield, our plan of moving on from Drury and moving on from Maikel Garcia just kind of makes sense. Garcia is going to be one that's going to suck to see him go, but I think we just know at this point this guy's going to be a great fielder, good on the base paths, good speed and whatnot, but the bat's just not really there. I don't think it ever will be. With B potential, he might be at his peak. If he even grows a little bit more, then, cool, but I don't think he's ever going to have that great of a bat. So I'm going to move on from those guys, Drury and Garcia, shift the players around, and I will go ahead and show you guys the depth chart in just a second. So I think this trade is pretty good for Maikel Garcia. We're going to get James Dunham back from the Brewers. He's a starting pitcher, B potential, 68. I know I'm acquiring a lot of B potential starting pitchers, but at 18 to already be a 68 with good potential, I feel like that's a very, very fair trade. They're getting a current player who's still pretty young in Maikel Garcia. We get Eric Calderon as well, just for some organizational depth. And then James Dunham. There's a couple other trades out there that looked pretty good. The Mets trade here, Vil Zarate, the 21-year-old catcher, 64 A potential. I'd actually like to look at him a little bit, see if he's worth it over James Dunham. So I'm going to take a quick look, actually. I'm not going to pull the trigger on the trade because that, now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, let's take a look at our catchers, though. We've got Jeff Tanaka, who looks really good with the Mets. I mean, obviously, they've got Francisco Alvarez as their star catcher, and they've got Kevin Parada right behind him. Vil Zarate here, A potential at 21, 64. I mean, he's 2 years older than Jeff Tanaka. I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt to have multiple good catchers in the system. I just think that starting pitcher at 18 with beat potential just kind of fits what we need and what we have, right? It's just kind of keep that starting pitcher pipeline strong. Phil Zarate here looks good. Definitely looks good. Can play left field too. But I think I'd like to go with the Brewers trade with that starting pitcher. Where is he? Yeah, James Dunham here. Yeah, great walks per 9 too. Good break, good amount of pitches, no quirks, which is to be expected. But at 18, 68 righty, looks really good. So I'm just going to see what else. They were willing to throw in a third baseman as well, right? Yeah, Eric Calderon. Yeah, see potential at 18, 58. That's not bad, right? That's somebody that could eventually be depth. But for now, I'm focused on James Dunham. Michael Garcia, I appreciate your efforts with us, my guy. But, you developed great, and I'm sorry I'm not going to see it out, but right now I think it just makes sense for us to move on from him, considering we have better players that I want to give at-bats to. So thank you for your time here, Michael, but enjoy Milwaukee. And James Dunham, welcome to our pipeline. I'm excited now. Like, taking a look at our starting pitcher, you just scroll, and there's just so much potential in our starting pitcher ranks. It's phenomenal. So the other trade, like I said, I was going to do was Brandon Drury. We did just sign him to a new contract, so he can't be traded until the middle of the season. A little bit of a blunder from me, but that's okay because that means Brooks Lee gets a little bit more time to cook down there in the minor leagues. He can play in AAA. I think I'd like to see him grow a little bit with the bat. I definitely think Colt Keith is the more ready now prospect, right? So he's going to be the one that gets the starts. A lefty bat there at third base. Pretty cool, pretty nice. And I will make him an actual third baseman, secondary of short and second in just a minute, and we'll take a look at the depth chart. And here we are. This is your 2026 Kansas City Royals, ranked 3rd overall in baseball, 21st in speed, so our speed has not gotten better, but our contact is great. 3rd there, 16th in power, 2nd in pitching, which I'd hope so, and then 6th in defense. So let's meet the squad that's hopefully going to take us all the way this year. We got Zach Gallen, Chris Paddock, Trevor Rogers, Brady Singer, and Bobby Herman as our starting pitchers. Kevin Garcia is not up here. But taking a look at the rest of the roster, starting at catcher, we got Freddie Furman, backed up by Blake Mitchell. At first, we've got Vinny Pasquantino. Luis Arraez is playing with Brandon Drury at second. Bobby Witt, obviously, at short. And then Colt Keith at third. And then we got Brandon Drury backing him up. Nolan Gorman is actually our DH this year. So that's pretty interesting to see that they moved him out of second in favor of Arraez. I just want to see, it probably makes sense. Then out in the outfield, we got Verdugo and O'Neill platooning at left. We've got Tommy Edman at center, and then O'Neill and Isbell platooning at right. So it's Verdugo, Edman, O'Neill is our ideal right field. So I actually wait. They don't have what's his face playing. Lyle Cortez. Where is he? He should be right fielder. Yeah, there he is. Lyle Cortez. He should be playing. I don't know why they don't have him playing. I guess I do think that probably O'Neill and or Verdugo is probably better for that. So let's see who's got the bigger arm. Verdugo's got the bigger arm here, so maybe I'll put Verdugo in right. 81 fielding, 93 arm, which is pretty good. O'Neill is 73 fielding, 88 arm. So yeah, I think I'm gonna move Verdugo, make him a true right fielder for us, and then we can get into the simulation. I'll show you how we do at the end of each month or whenever something big comes up. So we're back, and we're looking really good. We are 11 games up on the Guardians in the division after 1 month. Guys, it's May. We went through April really fantastically. Like 23-9 is just so good. It's better than the Yankees or the Orioles over there in the AL East. And then in AL West, the Athletics, they did, by the way, claim Kyle Bubich. He was out of options and they claimed him, and it sucks, but that's why we made the trade for another young prospect. So sucks that I couldn't get anything for him. A little bit of a oops, but it's going to happen. Also, I don't know how the Athletics have a minus 30 run differential and they're at the top of their division. It's probably because the division is just not doing well. Okay, so it must be the AL East is just destroying everybody but us, because the whole American League is sub 500 besides the AL East. Like, what is going on right now? Our rivals in the Twins here, they did lose quite a few players. After, I think, what did they go back-to-back World Series against the Phillies and lost both times? It was crazy. But you can see that they are still scoring runs. It's just their pitching has really fallen off a cliff. And I think they did lose a pitcher. I forgot who it was, but I think they definitely lost somebody. But 10-22 is going to be tough for them to bounce back from. I mean, all these teams are 8 games under 500, 9 games under 500 behind us. So right now, what our eyes should be focused on are the Yankees and the Orioles. We got to fight with those guys. We got to get the first or second seed so we do not have to play in the wild card. That is my goal for this season. So, 23-9, 7-19. Our team ERA is 3.52. Our batting average is 2.72. Slugging 441, and on base percentage. Guys, it's going really, really well. This is exactly what we had hoped for. The Yankees ERA is a little bit better. The batting average, the slugging is better for the Orioles. I think we're a very complete team, and I think the stats indicate that. I'm not going to go into the individual players stuff, right, because it's too early. Asa Lacy struggled. Don't like to see that. Jordan Adams, cool center fielder. Ben Caderna posted, look at that. Looking pretty good. Who that center fielder, Jordan Adams. Yeah, he's not really somebody we're worried about. But Max Clark is hot. He is losing contact, though. He's declining, but he's hot, so cool. We're going to keep it rolling here. Guys, I'm not going to look too much at the stats just yet. We probably don't even want to look at the stats at the end of May. Maybe sometime in June, we'll take a look. Obviously, we're getting up to the draft in this one, guys, so we got a lot of simulating to do, but so far this first month has gone really well. So we made it up to June here, guys. June 1st. Our team rank is now second. Our contact went down. Pitching is second now. And defense, yeah, so power went up, I think, is what happened. So, but we did really cool off that month, right? I think we were 14 games above 500. Now we're 7. So that was not a good month for us. We did end up playing the AL East, and I think my assumption was right that the AL East is just slaughtering everybody. We lost the series to Boston. We did beat the Twins in a series, which is nice to see. Beat the Mets, but then we lost to the Baltimore Orioles in a series. We got swept by the Yankees in a series. We lost to Tampa Bay 3-1. We lost to the Yankees 2-1. The AL East is just destroying the AL, I think. The Yankees are 42-17. 42? Good news for us, though, is we probably will be the second best division winner if things continue to hopefully go in the direction they have been. Maybe not last month, maybe more like the first month. But for now, I think the Yankees are safely going to be the number 1 overall seed. I mean, they've scored 273 and have allowed 195. That is crazy. We're at 239 and 238. Not good. That's not great. +1 in the run differential is not what you want to see. +5 there for the Orioles, so they're kind of in the same boat. It's a weird year. +14 for the Angels. They seem to be in the strongest position of any of the top teams in the AL. So the wild card is obviously Orioles, Blue Jays, Rays, Red Sox. The AL East is going to take the wild card spots. Maybe the Angels do because they're tied with the Rangers right now. Whichever one of them doesn't end up winning it could push for that final wild card spot. But let's take a look at some of the players who might be doing well and not be doing well. Okay, so not many notifications about the division, or about the prospects, excuse me. Player statistics, here we go. Batting average, who's batting the best? Tyler O'Neill, Luis Ariz, well, I'd hope so, with that 90, he should be. Bobby Witt, Kyle Isbell, but he's only at 100 at-bats. Verdugo's batting well. Colt Keith, 251, would like to see that be a little bit better. Then we've got Nolan Gorman, who's now hot and growing. So I'm not pushing the panic button on Nolan Gorman just yet. He's got that bridge contract for a reason. Vinny Pasquantino is not doing Vinny Pasquantino things. Vinny, I need you back up in the 300s, my guy. His power has gone up, so he's got 16 home runs already in 180 at bats, so that's good. But Edman, we didn't bring him into bat, but I was hoping to get 2 years ago Edman and that this wouldn't be a trend. Looks like he's just getting worse at batting all around. So Blake Mitchell's not been great. Neither catcher's been great batting-wise, but I mean, I'm not going to be too upset about that. Brandon Drury, yikes, and 111 at-bats, only batting 198. That's pretty dreadful, and maybe somebody to look to trade at some point in the season, because that is subpar. Home runs, though, Vinny Pasquantino with 16 and Nolan Gorman with 10, so there's the pop that we need. Everybody else is kind of chipping in, doing their thing. OPS, yeah, Vinny Pasquantino. Okay, so his average may have dropped, but his OPS is still 894, right? So you can see that he's hitting more for power. On base less, but his power is better. It is 3 years of a decline for him, but he is growing. So we'll see. But not many other great OPS bats here. Interesting to see what's going on there. Let's take a look at WAR. Is anybody negative? No, nobody's negative. But Bobby Witt is already, I mean, he's amazing at 2.4 just a couple months into the season. Vinny Pasquantino and Tommy Edman. Everybody else has got some work to do. Let's go to runs created. You guys know I like that metric. Yeah, so Gorman, Pasquantino, and Witt are all on their way. Arise is doing well. O'Neill, Colt Keith, okay. Edmonds, all right. Verdugo, I need Verdugo to step it up a little bit. He's usually, yeah, he was in the 80s last year, 86. And you can see it was in the 70s for Boston IRL. But I need him to pick it up a little bit with the runs created. I don't know. Take a look at the pitchers, starting pitchers specifically. ERA, Bobby Herman, baby, let's go. Zach Gallen is doing what we paid him to do. Chris Paddock is not, but he's getting hot. So we'll see a little bit more in depth about his stats. But Zach Gallen, Bobby Herman is hot and he's growing. 283 on the ERA. Trevor Rogers is solid, right? I think we're just kind of going to resign ourselves to a mid-threes ERA for Trevor Rogers. Brady Singer, not the kind of season I needed him to have in a contract year, right? He's now up to an 83, which is cool, but he needs to pitch like it. As far as quality starts, 10 from Zach Gallen, 9 from Herman. 50% for Singer, 50% for Rogers, slightly under for Chris Paddock. But again, I'm not too nervous about this one because he's shown the ability to like just catch fire IRL. Or I'm sorry, in the past here, not IRL. As you can see, he is just really good. I'm hoping that number comes down. He's just a slow starter this year. Strikeouts per 9, Bobby Herman. I love to see that because he's like the only strikeout starting pitcher we have. Chris Paddock is to Zach Gallen doing his thing. You know, I'm surprised that Paddock, I guess, walks per 9 is so good. Yeah, it's crazy. FIP, Bobby Herman is... the stats don't lie. Bobby Herman is pitching great. Zach Gallen's getting a little help. Chris Paddock's getting unlucky. Trevor Rogers is getting some help. Singer's getting some help. So really, these guys, they're all pitching fine. But I thought when we spent, 40 million, 37 million on 2 starting pitchers, that we do a little bit better there. Ooh, Scott Barlow not doing great in the pen. John Schreiber's not. Ryan Presley's not. Our bullpen is kind of letting us down here. Mariano Diaz, yeah, not pitching. The bullpen is kind of the issue right now. Take a look at the pitching rotation. Yeah, I don't know, guys. The setup guy, I mean, Mattin's only pitched 3 innings, but Sandlin with 15 is pitched great. Jose Leclerc, would like to see him do a little bit better. How is he doing with the saves? 4 blown saves. Yeah, he only blew 4 last year, but that was in 45 attempts. He's 20 right now. He's got to step it up here, guys. He really, really does. So the bullpen, I need it to pitch a little bit better for us, but right now I think I'm satisfied with where we're at. Things will start to normalize. We can take a look at it stats a little bit deeper, a little bit later. But for now, let's get up to the draft. All right, so we're back, ready to get through the draft. I didn't stop right at June because we're ready to get to the draft anyway. But 55 and 40 looks pretty good compared to the rest of the division. Now, the rest of the division is gotten its act together, but 4 games under 500 for the Twins. We're 15. So we bounced back, right? We started hot. We were 14 in the first month over 500. We dropped down to 7, and then we're now back up to 14, so it was a much better month for us. The Yankees have come back down to earth. So has the entire AL East. The AL West looks competitive again, too, so everything is starting to normalize, right? You can't take too much out of those first month stats and whatnot, but batting 264 as a team, slugging 436. I mean, those are both the best numbers in the division. ERA of 373. Wow, the Guardians actually have pretty good pitching. Maybe it's their number 4th ranked defense that's helping. But anyway, we're now at plus 42 in the run difference. So instead of the +1 we were at, it's been a really good month. 7-3 in the last 10, 25-8 in the division. So we've pretty much taken a stranglehold of the division, taking our claim to it after last year it was the Twins for 2 years actually. But you guys can see that, yeah, 55. We're right there now with the Yankees, right where we were at the first update. So no reason to push the panic button. You can delete the comments that you said that we're going down the gutter with under my leadership. So I don't have to read those, so we're good right now. But one thing I did want to show you before we get into the draft is the trade block. Riley Green and Tristan Casas are both on the trade block. And I think Riley Green would absolutely be a slam dunk no-brainer. There's also Davis Schneider here. Really good power, really good hitter against lefties, can play everywhere. But I like Riley Green. He's got contact against both sides, can hit for power against righties too. He's got good clutch, decent discipline and vision. Really a solid fielder, 84 at 25 A potential. He is having a monster season. I don't know if the Tigers are just trying to unload him because they feel like they don't want to pay him or can't pay him, and he's pricing himself out of Detroit. But he can come to Kansas City, and I would take 76 runs created at the draft. To put that in perspective, let's take a look at our team. Who's got the best runs created right now? Runs created is 68 with Bobby Witt. Riley Green's got 8 more runs created. Like, guys, and we've been looking for young, promising outfielders for a while now. Verdugo's playing right currently. O'Neill's out and left. O'Neill actually is growing really, really solidly, up to an 84 now. He was like a 78 when we signed him. Verdugo's hot. Doogie's probably getting back into form. Yeah, 812 OPS. Good to see him getting really back to where we need him to be, but I would not mind acquiring Riley Green. I don't know what they're going to ask for. Right? AL Central to AL Central. They may not be too generous. Trevor Rogers and Vinny Pasquantino. I feel like I might be able to get something done with something else. I could give him Brady Singer. Ooh, that does move it. That does move the needle. Brady Singer is bouncing back. Is having a much better second half of the season, but his win percentage is really poor. Can't blame him exclusively on that one. But ERC of 307, that's actually pretty good. So he is pitching well, but if we don't want to extend this guy, we could use him in this trade. And then it's just a matter of finding out what other pieces are they interested in, right? We could take a look at the relief pitcher. Chris Stratton's currently pitching in the minors for us. We could give them Ryan Presley. I mean, Scott Barlow's not pitching well, right? They're not exactly thrilled with all that. But we could give them a guy like Ray Enriquez. I know he's hot, but there's Amori Armas too, right? These young prospects, like, I would do this deal. They get a starting pitcher. They've put Tariq Skubal on the trade block a couple times. They do need pitching depth for sure. Casey Mize isn't really hitting his stride. Walker Buehler, we already sent him over there. And it just seems like Detroit wants to give up players to us, but I'll take it, right? They need somebody else. Brady Singer kind of would fit perfectly on their team. I would love to do this deal for Riley Green. So Singer, Stratton, who's in the minors, and then Amori Armas. I know I got to give up a prospect, third base prospect. We don't have many of those. He's cold. He's got beat potential. He's growing, right? At 18, 53. Decent player. Maybe we could give them McNair. Yeah, they would take McNair. I would. Okay, Brandon McNair. I'm giving him a better prospect now. I can give him Eric Calderon. There we go. Eric Calderon was a throw-in in the trade we made earlier in the season, getting rid of Michael Garcia. We now can flip him to the Tigers. So Singer, Stratton, Calderon. We clear up a lot of salary for ourselves, $3 million on the budget, actually. And we would have to negotiate an extension for Riley Green, but I would absolutely slap a long-term contract down on the table for him. He's growing like a fiend. He's got A potential, 25. Yeah, like this trade makes absolute sense to me, but I'm not going to do it, guys. You guys let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, and we're going to jump into the draft now and get that done. So sim to draft day. There we go. We lose to the Cincinnati Reds, but that is no problem. We are still doing fine. Cincinnati leads the series 1-0. Sim to draft. Yes. And go to the draft. Here we go. We're now ready to get to the draft. There's some really good looking players on the board. I'm just going to pin all these guys at the top. We will figure it out. You know, we do it how we do. We don't bother with this. This is just kind of in case I slip up and I don't make a pick in time, which that happened one time when they cut the timer down from 4 to 1 and I was not prepared for it. But here we go. Start the draft. The Chicago White Sox have selected Robbie Douglas, a starting pitcher who we had ranked 7th. So we'll see. Maybe Chicago's got some different information than we do. He looks good. I'm not going to say he looks bad, but for the first overall pick, you'd like somebody like the Athletics got last year. And then in shortstop, Jared Juarez. We have him ranked as number 1 overall, 21-year-old player here. Looks really good as a shortstop. That is very exciting and promising because I feel like it's a lot easier to get pitchers than it is to get fielders. But I did a lot of scouting with fielders. We should look good here too. And then finally, the center fielder, Sherman Romero. I didn't think I was going to get him, but ranked number 2, really good looking potential and overall, 22 years of age. Can play anywhere in the outfield too. And there we go. The Athletics are now on the clock, but here we go. Now it's our turn. Let's go with scouted. All right, so we've got, okay, Andrew Morgan ranked. Oh, man. Some of these guys, I mean, this starting pitcher here at 18, 66 to 85, 75 to 94. That's pretty good at the age of 18. We could go for the third baseman, though. His overall is, it's okay. He looks like he's going to have a decent, he's going to be a well-rounded player in the future, is what it looks like. Andrew Morgan here. I wish I could see if he could hit, because it'd be cool to get a two-way player. But Andrew Morgan, left-handed pitcher here. They're both kind of the same. Fabio Manzanillo is the third baseman there. He wants a little bit more money. We have him ranked 14th. Let's just see all. I mean, they have this relief pitcher, closing pitcher, and then, okay, the guys we scouted, right? I think I may just go with Fabio Manzanillo. It doesn't look like anybody else is really screaming at me to draft them, and that they could be so much better than everybody we're looking at right now. So Fabio Manzanillo is going to be the pick here. 19. He did opt out of his doctor exam. He's got average injury risk, though, so I'm not too worried about that. He's very interested in us already, and we do need to finally get a bat to look for and groom that we drafted, right? We've gotten plenty of pitchers that we've drafted that look great, but Fabio Manzanillo, welcome to the Kansas City Royals. Oh, in the powder blue jerseys, too. I absolutely love it. But we'll see how he turns out. He was ranked 44th by the MLB. We have him at 14th, so that could be a steal for us. Take a look at our next pick here. It's the competitive balance A, which is nice to see. And then there's Stuart Farrell. Okay, let's just go with the scouted players. There's also, there's a Leonard Enright here. He's 3 years older. I mean, his potential looks crazy high, but the overall, the overall's is just as low as Saul Farrell here. Better call Saul. I mean, if he was a closer, oh my God, the just slam dunk right there, marketing. But, from Ohio, yeah, I mean, these two guys, taking a look at him, Leonard Enright looks really good in the future. But so does Saul Farrell here. I don't know, man. I don't know. He's Enright's got better stamina for the future, though. Hits per 9. Strikeouts per 9 is Enright. He just doesn't have good walks per 9. It's like, which kind of pitcher do I want? We do need a strikeout pitcher. 88 to 98 potential is crazy good. He's 21. If he's got a good overall, man, that could be really good. Like, really, really good. 6'3", 215 out of Illinois. Yeah. Signing motivation is draft position. Signing motivation is bonus demand. Okay. Low injury risk for Enright. We don't know it for Saul Farrell because we don't have him 100% scouted, but I think we'll go with Leonard Enright. I know he's a little bit older. That potential looks really, really good, though. Draft Leonard Enright. So we got ourselves a third baseman and Leonard Enright here. To start the draft. Maybe with our next pick, Saul Farrell's still there. Ooh, that's nice. But there is this center fielder. This 18-year-old center fielder looks really good. Oh, God. Maybe I hope that Rich is still there. I'm going to add him to the draft queue. There's also this starting pitcher, 94 to 99. He is 23, though. He is 23. He's not ranked by the MLB, but our scouts have him at 62. That is crazy. There's this center fielder, but I think I will go with Rich Becerra, probably because just we have a higher positional need. They're both 18. He's ranked 41st by our scouts. He's ranked 19th by our scouts, and to get him here at 57, that's really good. I'm going to take Saul Farrell. If Rich Becerra's there at 97, great. If not, it is what it is. But we're taking Saul Farrell. We're taking both of those starting pitchers. We didn't have to deliberate too hard over both of them. Rich, please be there. Oh, he's gone. But there's still Steven Darth. There's this outfielder here, Cash Baker. Oh, that's a great name. Cash Baker, dude. 19. His potential range is okay. His overall looks pretty good, though, at 19. He really looks, he kind of reminds me of Lyle Cortez, one of those guys that's unimpressive, but could be really good for us, and just play a good role. Steven Darth, though, dude, if he has 99 potential, I'm gonna kick myself. But Steven Darth, I think I'm gonna pass on him to take Cash Baker. We took two really good pitching prospects. Let's go with Cash Baker. Hopefully Steven Darth is there later on. Listen, 23 is pretty old, all things considered, especially with an overall that's in the 60s. He could be insane, but I'm going to go with Cash Baker. I'm going with Cash Baker. His attributes look really good for now, and the future state looks like he's going to be a well-rounded guy that can do it all. Great speed, good stealing, fielding looks good. Like, he looks like... okay, I took Steven Darth because it's a minute. Oh, I took Steven Darth instead of Cash Baker. So we got Steven Darth, guys. Shoot, it's just a minute. And okay, so that's when it flips. It flips to a minute here, and he's gone now. That center fielder that we were looking at. Oh, that's so frustrating. There's Carmen Francisco, the shortstop. There's this center fielder, Jack Kemp. Okay, looks like he's going to be a great fielder. The bat leaves a little bit to be desired. I got to hurry up a bit more. We already took a third baseman. Sean Schroeder here. Looks like he could be good in the future. Again, one of those center fielders that's just really good at fielding and running. I'd like to see somebody a little bit better with the bat. Okay, so we got 30 seconds. There's Scott Arneson. Carmen Francisco here. Again, same thing. He's good speed, good stealing, good on the bases, but Jack Kemp, we only scouted him 50%, 73 to 98. He's 19. I need an outfielder. We're going to take Jack Kemp. We're taking Jack Kemp. Okay. Jeez. Oh, Steven Darth might have still been here. Who took my guy? Who took my center fielder? Is definitely in the third round here. He went, there, Cash Baker to the Diamondbacks. Unfortunate, but we're now back on the clock. Scott Arneson is still there. Carmen Francisco is still there too, so I might be able to get him. There's also Sean Schroeder. The difference between these two guys, you can see that Carmen Francisco is a little bit better fielder in the future. A little bit better bat, slightly better bat from Schroeder, though. We did just take a center fielder. Let's take Carmen Francisco. He opted out of his doctor exam. Unknown injury risk. Interesting. Carmen Francisco from the Dominican Republic, 6-foot shortstop that can play second or third. Schroeder can play anywhere. They're like the same player. Which position do I want more? Let's take Carmen Francisco just to get another infield prospect. We already took a third baseman. So we'll take Carmen Francisco. This draft it's not my favorite draft I've done. That's for sure. Oh, Sean Schroeder's still here. So you know what? I may just take him too, because he's probably of the guys that we've scouted, probably got the best potential remaining. We've already got plenty of starting pitchers in the pipeline. Sean Schroeder, welcome with our final pick, and we loaded up on infielders. We really did, or I should say fielders. We loaded up on them, so I'm excited to see what Fabio Manzanillo turns into. Third base is a position that we need. Oh, injured list. Tommy Edman has bruised his hand. Oh, I hate that, but that's the draft. That's what we could do. We could trade for Riley Green, and maybe we don't have to worry about outfielders as much, but this was a very targeted draft for infielders and outfielders for us, for fielders, not pitchers. So let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments section. Again, like I said, not my favorite draft, probably not your favorite draft either, but we still have to see what they turn out to, but that's going to have to be in the next one, guys. That's all of the time I have for this one. Let me know your thoughts on the potential Riley Green trade as well, getting rid of Brady Singer. Or should we get rid of Trevor Rogers? I don't know. They're both fine. We do have to sign. Brady Singer. Trevor Rogers is hot. They feel like the same pitcher to me. A little bit better there. And Trevor Rogers with his A potential. They both have A potential. He's a year younger. I don't know. He's a lefty. It's cool. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, guys. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.
It's a free for all, what we for. This a free for all,